to show something novel which is being done right here by a company in Pune. I invite Prashant, he's already here, Rakesh, as well as Swapnil. So, is Swapnil around?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think Prashant is going to do that.
okay. So he's already on stage. So.
Good morning, guys. I am the co-founder of Zenaria. Swapnil, my colleague, is also the other co-founder of Zenaria. And today I will be focusing mostly on how we are creating wow products in jewelry industry. Okay. So Zenaria is we are a modern jewelry brand. Okay, and we use 3D printing and algorithmic modeling to create irreplicable products, complex and intricate products. Okay, so we founded in 2015, some 723 days back till date, and it has been quite a journey of innovation, of trying to do something that the industry has not been able to do, and our efforts have actually led us to be one of the design finalists in Baselworld 2017. This is one of the best jewelry exhibitions in the world, and this we were selected by SolidScape. It was a 3D printing company. Okay. So the focus of today's presentation is on how we are creating wow products, right? And so I will just talk a little bit about the journey of how Zenaria has been doing these things. Okay. So it's not that we wanted to start a jewelry company, but we saw the potential of 3D printing. Okay. So 3D printing, you can make hollow structures, you can actually make interlocking stuff, you can also make some intricate kind of things that are not possible with any traditional manufacturing techniques, right? So, and then we saw, okay, what can we do? What can we do with 3D printing? Which industry? Then we saw that 3D printing is in automotive sector. 3D printing is in airline business. Right? So it is there in many different places. But we thought, okay, the cost of 3D printing is higher, right? Products that come out of 3D printing are higher. So we should find an industry wherein we can actually charge the premium for the 3D printing aspect of it. So, and also we thought from a design aspect that which industry requires this kind of innovation. And then we chose jewelry as our industry, and we have been using 3D printing as a base manufacturing and the core manufacturing technology. So how many of you know what 3D printing is? Or rather, how many of you don't know what 3D printing is?
I know.
You know.
So
Okay.
the kids also know 3D printing.
So kids also know. That's what I was expecting. Whether they know or not. No? Okay. 3D printing is like layer by layer printing, and after the printing you can make objects like this directly. Like it's a printer itself. Xerox hota hai, I say you can make like this 3D objects. Okay. So 3D printing is there from the smallest, a nano sculptor used 3D printing technique to make sculptures that were like 100 of the strand of hair. Okay, and there is a company, Ukraine-based company called Passive Dom, that is building houses in under 8 hours and in any terrain. Okay, it can be even in Himalayas, it can be somewhere in Goa. So it's vast. And also, what is happening with this field is now you can print a phone, you can embed electronics using 3D printing, you can make wearable devices. So, lot of innovation is happening in this particular space. And there is a famous catchphrase of 3D printing that says that complexity is free. Like you can do whatever you want. Right? Anything is possible. So, even I think Albert Einstein figured out that thing some time back, like yeah, it's quite possible, right? Brain is made of neurons, neural networks. So, and people are already building organs. You can embed them. So it's quite possible, right? So it is bringing the impossibility to life, right? So that is the vastness of 3D printing. But the key thing over here is like you will have to, if you have to utilize 3D printing, you will have to rethink design thinking as well. Okay? Because you will have to design the products in such a way that you are utilizing the power of 3D printing. So what we understood is like our in jewelry industry, generally the traditional design approach is that you take a motif. Motif is like mango or a peacock or anything. So there are set kind of motifs, and then they sketch it out, right? Then they use certain kinds of karigari techniques like meenakari. Different regions have different techniques, right? And then what they do is they will do some kind of a form finding in terms of creating a prototype through some materials, clay, etc. And then they use manufacturing techniques of like assembling, soldering things. So this is how the traditional design approaches. And in this approach, you can't make interlocking kind of things. You can't make 3D, 3-dimensional kind of products. Like, yeah, there is a limitation you can make, but you won't be able to achieve some really complex kind of So they thought about it. They thought out of the box. The other thing is iPhone. iPhone, when it was launched, there was Motorola Razr. So it was the thinnest phone at that time, right? So if Motorola Razr were there today, we could be having like a paper kind of a phone maybe, if it was hit at that point in time, right? But iPhone came in. Steve Jobs thought that, okay, this is a device that has to be used more for a desktop also, desktop in your hand. He started envisioning in a totally different way. So, and also the example what Praveen was telling, Ford, people wanted a faster horse, but yeah, he built a car. Right? So, that is what we do. Hope this session was really helpful for you. And these are our website. You can contact us on our social media pages. Okay. And our team here. Hey, you want to come on?
No, it's okay. You're fine.
So.
What are the advantages of 3D printing in jewelry? Have you been able to cut down on costs or scalability is increased, or apart from the interesting experimentations in design and offerings, does it bring you those advantages in some way?
Exactly. One thing is the first thing, the prototyping cost, they go down drastically. Okay. The design cost goes down drastically because you're prototyping it, right? The third thing is in this age of customization, it definitely is useful, right? And 3D printing cost is going down day by day. So yes, on the cost front also it is.
If it's not intrusive, if you can.
Sorry, I'd like to add something to your previous question. If you can go back to the product slide, I'll tell you how 3D printing also helps, for example. Okay. Sorry, so I was just saying that I'd like to add something on this. Take this product for example. Right, the volume of that product is on display in the back. It's a decently large piece. Now, it's a hollow piece completely, it's a mesh, right, and they're interlocked. And so one of the technology aspects of 3D printing is that there is no joint in this interlocking. It's printed as one piece. So two interlocked, pieces are printed one. It's completely hollow. Right now, if I take any other piece of comparable size, then the weight would be at least twice as much. Right. So people who like a bigger jhumka or a bigger, and if they are into that kind of style, then their cost will be at least 3 times down as far as metal cost is concerned. For example, this is also on display in the back. Now, it is hollow from the back, actually, scooped out from the back. So again, metal cost goes down. Now, if you go to a traditional jeweler where there is some kind of a projection out, you will typically find that they will fill it, the entire thing is either solid or they'll fill it with something called lac. So it depends what kind of, if you're doing kundan work or whatever, they fill lac, but then it becomes heavy. So this is one of the advantages of 3D printing, because we are able to create hollow structures, but they are yet three-dimensional and without any joints, so that the aesthetic and the finishing also comes like perfectly. You don't need to. Otherwise, if you see, let's say we have some. Do we have a globe kind of structure? So if you take a sphere, for example, spherical structures are available in jewelry. But what they do is they create 2 half spheres and then they join it. So you will see a line wherever that joint is happening. And they'll try to cover it up with something else. But here we can print a completely hollow, solid sphere. So these are the advantages. We can reduce the overall weight of the product for the volume that we are, for the same volume. So yes, it does, have those kind of things. But actually, at the end of the day, from a layman perspective, from a buyer perspective, they don't, realize that if they have to buy this kind of a product, they'll probably pay 3 times as much. But they'll say, "Arey, what is your, ultimately, what is your making charge and all this?" The haggling comes into the picture.
So, and what are the disadvantages as well in terms of, now considering I'm not from this background, but I'm just thinking out loud that as of now, currently with the current technology in place, are there any disadvantages in terms of design thought process and design ultimately finishing on
Actually, the 3D printing allows us to do such complex products which you cannot do in traditional manufacturing. So there are some products in the back, and I urge all of you to just have a look at it to understand the complexity. For example, there's a product called Kufo. Of course, we have not put the names over there, but it's like a cube which is made of lines, but the lines are crisscrossing each other through the cube, and if you rotate it, it will look different from all sides. Now, for example, so it's like joining one diagonal to another corner kind of a algorithm. Just I'm just going to the details because you asked. But if you look at that product now, if you ask somebody to do it with a traditional manufacturing, they'll have to create lines first, create that box structure, and then try to join each line in that fashion the way we have joined. Now, while you're doing that, there are going to be joints at every, for each line there's going to be 2 joints at least. And then, the crisscrossing of lines, the way they crisscross without, touching each other, to achieve that is also very difficult, from a manual labor perspective. So, the 3D printing that gives us the flexibility in terms of pushing design is probably not possible with, traditional manufacturing. For example, take this product or any of our, even that product, any of our products where we have lines, we have used whether it's curved or straight, all those lines are at 0.7 mm thickness. Now, doing manual work with 0.7 mm thickness is very difficult. It's not impossible, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but if you want the precision, the curvature to be exactly like this, or the straightness to be exactly like this, that becomes kind of tricky in handmade or machine-made kind of a jewelry at that level of thickness. We've done some products at 0.5 mm thickness as well. So, in terms of, so why we say that our core technology is 3D printing, we are doing our design around 3D printing as a constraint. So, really the constraint is not design. If tomorrow I am able to print and polish 0.3 mm also, for example, wire, then I will do all of these products in 0.3 mm. So, my real constraint is actually the capacity of 3D printing. Design is, you can do whatever on your computer.
So basically this is like a superset for design available. I mean, whatever designs are being done manually, they can very well be done.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's but then that's not interesting for us.
That's true, I'm just asking.
Yeah, sure, you're right. Sorry, yeah, ma'am.
So it looks like that once you discovered that you wanted to do design printing, after that you chose the jewelry space for it. That's if I heard you correctly in the beginning. So essentially you are a jewelry company then, right? So now what are the challenges that you are facing in marketing your products, and who are your prime competitors? Because there are so many local as well as national, international players in this business. So what exactly are the challenges and competition that you are facing?
So I'm more from the business side, so I'll answer this one as well. Otherwise, I have to go to Shantwan. So jewelry is not an impulsive buy for most people. Jewelry is a planned purchase. There's a event, it's a wedding, it's an anniversary, it's a birthday or whatever it is. So people go to buy jewelry when they know they want to buy jewelry. Now the real challenge for any jeweler is to be present, or for us as jewelers, is to be present when a person walks into a store with an intention to buy. First of all, it's a high value item, and people want to have a touch, look, feel, wear, whether it suits them or not, and that kind of stuff, right? So the challenge is to be present at so many outlets, point of sales, that you can, when you'll reach maximum number of people, right? So in increasing your retail footprint, I would say is one of the biggest challenges. Now the second big challenge is from an Indian market perspective. Design they like the design, but at the end of the day, it comes to is what is my manufacturer, what is your making charges, what is your wastage, and give me discount on the making charges and all this kind of stuff. So people may like it, but they're not willing to pay as much. Not at least in in a lot of places that we have seen. But if you go to the West, for example, people there is no concept of making charges. It's a piecewise rate kind of MRP kind of a concept, you know. So your designs are more accepted, and the value for your design you realize a lot more in the international market. So we are also trying to push to Europe and US and other countries also. So challenges, like I said, distribution network is a big challenge, and then pricing is a big challenge as far as Indian market is concerned. But then those challenges go away when it is.
So what about competition? Are there any other players who are into design printing, such kind of a thing?
See,
for
3D
jewelry?
printing is used in the jewelry industry, but it is not just about 3D printing. It's about the combination of 3D printing and design. So we are trying to push design to a level where we optimize, or we utilize 3D printing to its full potential. Okay, so like you were saying, can traditional products be done in 3D printing? Yes, some of them do traditional products in 3D printing, but they are thinking from that toolbox perspective. What the last quote Prashant said was like, you have to think out of the box, but it's not easy. It's not as easy as it said. So traditional jewelers are still have that old toolbox. मेरा ये कारीगरी मेरे को मीनाकारी करना है, मेरे को कुंदन का सेट करना है, मेरे को इतना बड़ा चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह. So but they instead of doing पहले वो एक कारीगर होता था जो wax में उसको actually carve करके they used to give as a prototype. Then they would make a mold out of it, and then that master mold is used for casting. Now उसमें अगर उस molding में अगर उसने कुछ गलती करी है, that gets carried forward forever type of stuff. So that mindset is still continuing. अभी वो कारीगर कार्व नहीं करता है, but there is a guy who knows CAD and he is putting that thing in CAD. But ultimately, you're not utilizing the 3D printing का जो concept है, उसको you're not taking it to that level. So that's where sorry, yeah. I'll give.
Take one final question from
Sure.
Is it possible to 3D print robot, and what are the
Yes.
methods do you use?
So there are hundreds of methods. I mean, Prashant, I'll let you answer that.
Yes.
More expert.
So the technology is DMLS. It's called direct metal laser sintering, and SLS is also there, selective laser sintering. So SLS is there for a lot of materials like aluminium, stainless steel, lot other things, And DMLS is mostly used for precious metals, gold, silver, and different types of golds.
So I have
We
a
have
question.
in-house printer?
Yeah.
We have in-house printer?
Yes, we have
Yes,
it.
we have.
I have a question here. So
So sorry, because this
Yeah,
the person has been waiting
yeah.
for a long time.
sure.
So, sorry sir. So, innovator's dilemma. Your expertise is in 3D printing, and that's probably also your passion. So why not just work as probably providing those services to established gold merchants or gold selling companies instead of becoming a jeweler?
Something like Uber for jewelry.
No, there's no value addition. To be very fair, there's no value addition. You'll go. There are design labs, who do traditional designs. They will sell you at like $10 a design or something. There are marketplaces for designs as well. For jewelry particularly, I'm saying. So you can find range between 10 to 50 euros per design. I mean, so if that is what we had to do, then we would probably not spend so much time doing, learning this technology. We almost spent 2 years to learn, this technology. There was a huge steep learning curve. But now where we are, we can churn out hundreds of designs very quickly. But it took us, a long time, 6 months to get that first 10 designs for it. So yeah, ultimately it's value addition. If you are selling a product, then you are actually adding, the margin that you make on the product is much more. And you make it repeatedly, right? The more you sell. Design is one time sale and it's not fun doing that.
So,
3D printing is costlier than
As on
traditional
today,
gold
if the
making?
volumes are lower, yes, 3D printing can be more expensive than traditional manufacturing. But traditional manufacturing today strives mostly on the fact that they do a lot of volume. So any traditional manufacturer you see, they will process at least, I'm talking about a decent small size manufacturer, 5 kgs of gold every day. They work on 2%. So 5 kgs gold is like what, 1.5 crores roughly, right? So 1.5 crore का आज का मेरा turnover हो गया, but my margin is 2%. So that's like 3 lakh something. So मेरा कारीगर, electricity ये वो सब निकल जाता है. They work on very low margin. At that low margin you cannot do with a single product. So we do a lot of customization of our products. So that's not possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Sir. Oh, sorry. You want to wrap up? Okay.
I think it's not
yeah, you can connect on and
Sure.
or
Thank you.
have a guest speaker in place.
Thank you.
But before I let Prashant off the stage, मुझे कुछ खुफिया information मिली है. The reason why he sounded so emotional today probably is also because of the passion of the venture. But it's a special day. It's his birthday. And, thanks. You decided to give Startup Saturday. Be here at Startup Saturday rather than being at a party somewhere.
Thank you.
That is for the evening.
Saturday night.
Yeah, the night is always there. So, anyways, please do edit that. So this is how the entrepreneurs spend their day or their weekends at Startup Saturday. So old timers, I see some familiar faces and pretty new ones, and I hope the newer ones will be repeaters, not in terms of academics, but in terms of being at Startup Saturday sessions in the coming months. So I like the way you answered the question about Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. So it was better placed because